Many of us look in the mirror and wish for a flatter stomach, often for purely aesthetic reasons. However, the fat that accumulates around our midsection is far more than just a cosmetic concern. This is not the soft, pinchable fat you find just under your skin, which is known as subcutaneous fat. Instead, we're talking about visceral fat, a much more sinister type of fat that wraps itself around your vital internal organs such as your liver, pancreas, and intestines. This deep-seated fat is metabolically active, meaning it doesn't just sit there idly. It actively releases inflammatory substances and hormones that can disrupt your body's normal functions and pave the way for serious health problems. The presence of significant visceral fat is a major red flag for your long-term health. Because it is nestled deep within your abdominal cavity, it can directly interfere with how your organs operate. For example, when fat infiltrates the liver, it can lead to a condition called non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, impairing the liver's ability to detoxify your body and regulate blood sugar. This internal fat is strongly linked to an increased risk of developing a host of chronic diseases, including type 2 diabetes, heart disease, certain types of cancer, and even Alzheimer's disease. The inflammatory chemicals it pumps out create a state of chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout your body, which is a key driver of modern illness. You might be wondering why visceral fat is so much harder to lose than the fat on your arms or legs. The answer lies in its close relationship with your hormones. Visceral fat is particularly sensitive to the stress hormone cortisol, and it plays a significant role in developing insulin resistance. When you are insulin resistant, your cells don't respond properly to the hormone insulin, which is responsible for moving sugar from your blood into your cells for energy. This forces your pancreas to work overtime, pumping out more and more insulin, which in turn signals your body to store even more fat, particularly around your middle. It becomes a vicious cycle that is difficult to break without a targeted approach. Therefore, embarking on a journey to reduce belly fat is one of the most important things you can do for your overall health and longevity. It is not about chasing an unrealistic body image, but about actively protecting your internal organs and reducing your risk of debilitating diseases. Understanding what visceral fat is and the harm it can cause is the crucial first step. By recognizing that this is a health issue, not just a weight issue, you can become more motivated to make the necessary lifestyle changes. The goal is to create an internal environment where this dangerous fat can no longer thrive, setting you on a path to a healthier future. One of the most common culprits behind stubborn belly fat is a diet high in carbohydrates and sugar. When you consume foods like bread, pasta, white rice, sugary snacks, and sweetened drinks, your body breaks them down into glucose for energy. If you consume more glucose than your body can immediately use, the excess is first stored in the liver. Once the liver's storage is full, it begins converting this excess sugar into fat. This process specifically promotes the creation of visceral fat, which then accumulates around your organs. This is why simply cutting calories might not be effective if your diet remains high in refined carbs. You are essentially feeding the very mechanism that creates belly fat. Another significant blocker is the regular consumption of alcohol, especially when combined with sugary mixes. Your liver prioritizes metabolizing alcohol above all else because its byproduct, acetaldehyde, is toxic. This means that while your liver is busy processing that glass of wine or pint of beer, it puts fat burning on hold. Furthermore, alcohol itself is calorie-dense and can lead to fat accumulation in the liver, contributing directly to visceral fat stores. Similarly, fructose, particularly high fructose corn syrup found in many processed foods and sodas, is metabolized almost exclusively by the liver, making it a powerful driver of the fat production that leads to a fatty liver and increased belly fat. You may be surprised to learn that a lack of quality sleep is a major obstacle to losing belly fat. Most of our fat-burning processes occur while we are asleep thanks to the release of human growth hormone. This powerful hormone helps to break down fat, especially visceral fat, for energy and repair. However, when you are sleep-deprived, your body produces more of the stress hormone cortisol. High cortisol levels not only block the release of human growth hormone but also actively encourage your body to store fat around your abdominal organs. Aiming for a consistent 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night is not a luxury. It is a fundamental requirement for hormonal balance and effective fat loss. Finally, chronic stress and underlying gut inflammation are two interconnected factors that can halt your progress. When you are constantly stressed, your adrenal glands pump out cortisol, which raises your blood sugar levels. This in turn triggers the release of insulin, the fat storage hormone, leading to visceral fat gain. At the same time, an inflamed gut, often caused by a poor diet, can disrupt your metabolism and lead to insulin resistance, forcing your body to store fat. Conditions like bloating, IBS, or chronic constipation are signs that your gut health may be compromised, creating a metabolic environment that makes losing belly fat incredibly difficult. To effectively combat visceral fat, you must first focus on supporting your liver, the primary organ for fat metabolism. A simple and effective way to start is by drinking a glass of water with fresh lemon juice and a splash of apple cider vinegar each morning. This can help stimulate liver function. It is also vital to eliminate the foods that burden the liver, which means cutting out vegetable oils, refined sugars, starches, and fructose. Instead, incorporate liver-cleansing foods into your diet. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, as well as alliums like garlic and onions, contain compounds that support the body's natural detoxification pathways and help your liver process and eliminate fat more efficiently. The next crucial step is to lower your insulin and cortisol levels, the two key hormones driving belly fat storage. To lower insulin, you must reduce your intake of sugar and processed carbohydrates. This helps to stabilize your blood sugar levels and gives your pancreas a much-needed rest. Practicing intermittent fasting, such as eating all your meals within an 8-hour window, and fasting for the remaining 16 hours, is a powerful tool for improving insulin sensitivity. To lower cortisol, focus on managing stress. Avoid over-exercising, which can be a physical stressor, and opt for more relaxing activities like walking, swimming, or yoga. Simple habits like getting more sleep and listening to calming music can also make a significant difference. Boosting your metabolism, a process known as thermogenesis, can also help your body burn more calories and fat. You can do this naturally by incorporating certain foods and habits into your routine. Drinking green tea is an excellent choice as it contains compounds called catechins that have been shown to increase metabolism and promote fat burning, particularly around the abdomen. Adding spices like cayenne pepper, ginger, and chili to your meals can also have a thermogenic effect, temporarily raising your body's heat production and calorie expenditure. Even a short, cold shower can stimulate your body to generate more heat, which in turn burns extra calories to keep you warm. Building and maintaining muscle mass is a cornerstone of any successful fat loss plan. Muscle is metabolically active tissue, which means it burns calories even when you are at rest. The more muscle you have, the higher your resting metabolic rate will be, making it easier to lose fat and keep it off. You do not need to become a bodybuilder. Simple strength training exercises are incredibly effective. This can include lifting weights using resistance bands or performing bodyweight exercises like squats, push-ups, and lunges. Aim for 2 to 3 strength training sessions per week to build a stronger, more fat-burning body that works for you around the clock. Making sustainable changes often comes down to making smarter choices day by day, starting with the foods you eat. A powerful strategy is to swap out processed, high-carb foods for nutrient-dense alternatives. Instead of having toast or cereal for breakfast, try having a couple of pasture-raised eggs cooked in a little butter with a side of spinach. For lunch, replace your sandwich made with white bread with a large salad filled with leafy greens, colorful, non-starchy vegetables, a source of quality protein like grilled chicken or wild-caught salmon, and a dressing made with extra virgin olive oil. These swaps help to keep your blood sugar stable and reduce the insulin spikes that promote fat storage. The type of fats and oils you cook with can have a profound impact on inflammation and fat storage in your body. It is time to clear your pantry of highly processed vegetable oils like soybean, corn, canola, and sunflower oil. These oils are typically high in omega-6 fatty acids, which can promote inflammation when consumed in excess. Instead, switch to healthy, stable fats for cooking. Extra virgin olive oil is excellent for low-heat cooking and dressings, while organic coconut oil, ghee, clarified butter, and beef tallow are fantastic, stable options for higher-heat cooking. These healthy fats help to reduce inflammation and can actually improve your body's sensitivity to insulin. When it comes to protein, quality matters just as much as quantity. Many processed foods, including some protein bars and shakes, use cheap soy protein isolates, which can be difficult for the body to process and may even burden the liver. Focus on incorporating high-quality whole food protein sources into every meal to help you feel full and satisfied, reducing the likelihood of snacking on unhealthy foods. Excellent choices include grass-fed beef, pasture-raised eggs, wild-caught fish like salmon and sardines, organic chicken and lamb. For plant-based options, consider pumpkin seeds and hemp seeds, which are packed with nutrients and healthy fats alongside their protein content. Ultimately, the journey to a healthier body and less belly fat is not about a quick fix, but about adopting a series of small, manageable changes that you can stick with for the long term. Start by picking 1 or 2 suggestions from this guide, perhaps swapping your cooking oil or adding a 20-minute walk to your daily routine. As these new habits become second nature, you can gradually incorporate more. Remember that every positive choice you make is a step towards reducing dangerous visceral fat, balancing your hormones, and building a foundation for lasting health. Be patient with yourself, stay consistent, and you will begin to see and feel the remarkable benefits. If you found these tips helpful, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to share this video with friends and subscribe for more practical advice on staying healthy and losing belly fat. Your support helps us bring you even more great content.